It's 8 a.m. right now. Details on a Friday morning homicide leaving one man dead on Madison's Willie Street. Police still looking for a suspect at this time. Plus, changes. There's some chances of rain in the forecast this morning. Jacob will be live from the Susan D. Komen More Than Pink Walk with your forecast. Plus, we got extreme heat out in the Southwest. CBS's Wendy DeLette reports on warnings about the dangerously hot conditions. That's all ahead here on Weekend Mornings. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Weekend Mornings. I'm Kyle Pazorski. It is June 8th. Singer Bonnie Tyler turns 73 today. We should be starting with weather. Jacob Montesano should be out here. Good morning, Jacob. How are you doing? You're out at the Susan D. Komen walk. How's it going out there?
Yeah, do you guys got me? I know we've been having a little bit of issues, but think we're good, right? All right, sounds good. All right, so let's get right into the forecast. Right now, it actually is pretty good out here. Unfortunately, this is not going to last forever because if we do look at the current radar, we do have some showers moving closer to Dane County, already impacting portions of our area. Now, the good news is that this rain will be very light, but it could last for a few hours. So let's take a look at future track. We are going to continue to see the showers pushing off to the east, mostly light to moderate rain, maybe a few pockets of heavier rain, especially in the southwestern portion of our area, but most of the heavier rain will stay south and west of us in Iowa and portions of Illinois. And the other good news is that this is mostly going to occur during the morning. Now, places south and east of Dane County may see the rain last into the early afternoon, but once we get to the middle and late afternoon, our entire area is expecting dry conditions, and those dry conditions are going to continue through the overnight hours and into Sunday as well. So timing out your forecast, for those of you tuning in from La Crosse, rain is going to wrap up much earlier for the areas north and west, and temperatures will peak in the lower 70s with some sunshine expected later in the day. And then for Madison, we are going to see the rain last just a little bit longer, kind of wrapping up around noon to 2 p.m. Wind's not going to be a big factor, but temperatures are only going to peak in the 60s. Now I'll have your full weekend forecast coming up a bit later. It is looking a lot drier for Sunday. I'll have the details a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much. Our top stories this morning, we start with this. Madison police continue to search for a suspect in connection with a deadly shooting on the city's east side. It happened Friday morning on Willie Street. This is only the second homicide reported in Madison this year, with residents who live in the area telling News 3 Now they don't feel like this incident speaks for the neighborhood at large.
We will have people that sit out on their porch, like I'll sit out on my porch and have a drink. He sits out on his porch playing his music. You'll say hi. It was just an isolated incident that happened. It's not Willie Street.
April Vaughn and her 5 kids live on the block where the shooting happened. In addition to leaving residents frightened, several businesses near the intersection were closed Friday, dealing with the cleanup after dozens of shots were fired. The Baraboo parents seen on camera pushing the district superintendent on stage during the high school's graduation has since been charged. This video shows the parent, Matthew Eddy, as he approached the stage, grabbing Superintendent Dr. Rainey Briggs before pushing him off camera. He's been charged with disorderly conduct for this. According to a criminal complaint, Eddy told Briggs he, quote, was not going to touch his expletive child. Eddy told investigators he pushed Briggs away from his daughter because he thought he treated her unfairly in school. With Election Day nearly 5 months away, the presumptive candidates, former President Trump and President Biden, are staying busy. Willie James Inman reports on what both men are doing to gain momentum as we move towards November.
On the beaches of Normandy, President Biden spoke about American democracy at the site of the D-Day Allied invasion 80 years ago, a critical turning point in World War II.
American democracy asks the hardest of things, to believe that we're part of something bigger than ourselves.
Biden's political rival, former President Donald Trump, is attending a closed-door fundraiser in Beverly Hills ahead of Sunday's rally in Las Vegas, where he's set to go after Biden on domestic issues, including inflation and crime. In Phoenix Thursday, Trump focused on security at the southern border with Mexico, just days after the president unveiled a new plan to stem the flow of migrants crossing into the U.S.
If Joe Biden truly wanted to sign an executive order to stop the invasion, he only needs a single sentence, and it would say, I hereby immediately reinstate every single border policy of a gentleman named Donald J. Trump.
Vice President Kamala Harris was on the campaign trail in Maryland Friday, pushing for gun safety legislation.
I've held the hands of far too many mothers and fathers to try and comfort them after their child was killed by gun violence.
Trump, the presumptive GOP nominee, plans to announce his VP pick at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee next month. Meanwhile, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott is among several people said to be in the running. In a TV interview, Scott didn't elaborate, but said even to be considered is a blessing. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
On Wall Street, stocks closed lower Friday following a stronger than expected May jobs report. The data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed the economy added 272,000 jobs last month, which was well above the 180,000 that economists expected. The unemployment rate also ticked up slightly to 4%. Here's a closer look at Friday's closing numbers. The Dow drops 87 points, the NASDAQ down 40, the S&P 500 down almost 6. New homes, new streets, and an expansion of a city park. That's what's coming to Madison's southwest side, as empty farmland near Elver Park will soon be redeveloped. 130 acres of farmland along Marty, Midtown, and Raymond Roads was bought by Viridian Homes, which then sold half of it to the city. 40 of those acres will be used to expand Elver Park. Viridian is using its land to build a new subdivision between Midtown and Raymond Roads. This means both roads will eventually be rerouted through the subdivision and connect with High Point, which is split into two sections by the farmland. It's a big project and one the city expects to take time to complete.
Viridian plans to develop over a number of years, and we would kind of stage our construction along with that as well. So it could take, upwards of 5 years to kind of fully be constructed throughout that area.
Viridian plans to begin construction on the first phase of the subdivision this fall. If you're looking for a sign that summer is almost here, then we got some good news. Madison's Goodman Pool is now open for the season. Friday's windy weather couldn't keep the kids away from getting in, as the first 500 got to swim for free. Season passes are still available for purchase. To see open swim times and other swim hours, just look for the story on channel3000.com. People in the Southwest are almost certainly looking for ways to cool off right now. The first heat wave of 2024 is bringing record-breaking temperatures to California, Arizona, and Nevada. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette has more.
It's a little warm, huh?
The dog days of summer are already here in parts of the Southwest, even before the official start of the season in 2 weeks. This Las Vegas pup donned protective shoes for a walk as the temperature hit a record high of 110 degrees Friday, followed by a dip in a kiddie pool. The heat dome is also bringing sweltering rays to Phoenix, where kids visited a splash pad to keep cool.
To be honest, it feels like someone grabs a blow dryer and it's just blowing it straight in your face. That's exactly how it feels.
Nicole Rickman's children headed to the pool.
It pretty much feels like you're in an oven. Like if you set your oven to 120 degrees and then you just open it and stuck your head in it, that's Arizona.
Cooling centers opened in parts of the state.
We see the heat increase pretty quickly here in Arizona, and it's deadly from the start. So the cooling centers here are very integral parts of keeping our community safe.
The heat is already on much earlier than past summers.
Climate change is making everything hotter, and then you add on top of that the fact that summers are always hot. And so we can expect a hotter than normal summer.
And he says expect that to be the new normal. Tourists in Rome are also struggling to stay hydrated as temperatures soar there.
I'm sweating a lot. Feels like I'm in the desert right now.
The high temperatures in the U.S. are expected to ease over the weekend. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
In more national news, Friday was National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Yesterday, Vice President Kamala Harris sharing photos of a visit from earlier this week to the White House from a group of graduating high school seniors. These seniors were some of the youngest survivors of the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting more than 11 years ago. Now they're graduating, then it is on to college in the fall. The vice president writing in a post on X saying, in part, on Gun Violence Awareness Day, we commit to continuing the fight for common sense gun safety laws. This all as conspiracy theorist Alex Jones has agreed to liquidate his assets to pay the families of the Sandy Hook victims. Jones owes more than $1.5 billion for publicly insisting the Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax. The families sued him for defamation and emotional distress. In 2022, a jury found him liable, but the families haven't seen a penny from Jones yet. The liquidation is part of a Chapter 7 bankruptcy proceeding involving Jones's personal assets. It means he'll lose control of InfoWars, which is the lucrative company he founded in 1990 to share lies and conspiracy theories. Time now is 8:09. Still ahead, we share some helpful tips to help make sure your kids eat healthy over the summer months. Plus, Jake will be back live at the More Than Pink Walk in Madison. He'll have the full forecast just ahead on weekend mornings.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison. At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
It's time for the Madison Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns. Don't miss your chance to tour 32 newly constructed homes filled with the newest trends and products. Go to MadisonParadeOfHomes.com and purchase your tickets today.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Ordinary is the opposite of beautiful. Beauty drops our jaws, dilates our eyes, and beauty is something we can create right now at Floor & Decor.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling in RA and PSA, relieve fatigue, and stop further joint damage. And in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
AbbVie could help you save.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here at the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk, and conditions are still very nice. Right now we're seeing temperatures around 60, 65, but the sun is actually shining. Unfortunately, that's not going to last forever. Let's take a look at the three things you need to know. We are going to see some scattered showers early today, but it is going to be dry later in the day, and the dry conditions will then continue for Sunday, with temperatures warming up in general throughout next week. So let's take a look at that current radar. Right now, we still are seeing some of those showers move closer to Dane County. Again, right now it is still dry here, but there are some lighter showers for the northern and western portion of our area. This does include you folks out in La Crosse. Now, the good news is that when the rain does come, it's going to be pretty light, and it's not going to last all day. We could see a few pockets of heavy rainfall, but we're mostly talking about showers light to moderate. Now, by the time we get to around the noon hour, places off to the north and west will have already seen the rain come to an end. Places south and east of Dane County may see the rain last just a little bit longer, but the entire area is expecting dry conditions by the late afternoon and evening. And once we get into the overnight hours, we're looking completely dry, and those dry conditions will continue for Sunday as well. Now, taking a look at the temperature forecast for the afternoon, highs will only be in the middle to upper 60s here in Dane County, lower 70s out in La Crosse, but the entire region still a little bit below average for this time of year. but obviously temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s when the sun is shining, which it could later in the day. Those conditions are still very comfortable. Now, tomorrow will be completely dry with highs in the lower 70s. Really, the only blemish in the forecast for Sunday is it will be a little bit breezy, seeing winds around 10 to 20 miles per hour. But overall, the winds aren't going to be too bad, not as bad as they were just this past Thursday. Now, looking at the high temperature trend over the next 10 days, those temperatures are going to begin to warm up a little bit, especially by the middle and end of next week. We'll have highs back in the lower 80s. Wouldn't surprise me if we do see our first 90-degree day, at least for parts of our area, as we're going to be getting close to the middle to upper 80s by the time we get to Father's Day. Now, precipitation-wise, fairly likely we'll see rain today, although, as I mentioned, it will be pretty light. And then we are going to see another chance of rain Tuesday afternoon into overnight Tuesday. Overall, that rain chance does look to be pretty small. Another small chance of rain on Thursday, but nothing dramatic. We don't have any alert days in the forecast. And really, we aren't expecting any severe weather, at least maybe until Father's Day. But obviously, a lot can change between now and Father's Day. So looking at the full 7 to 10 day forecast, 80s are in the forecast for the end of next week and next weekend. And as I've been talking about, this does include Father's Day. And for Father's Day, we could be talking about a few showers and storms that will also continue into the beginning of the following week as temperatures will remain mild. So if you want the warmer temperatures, they are coming. If you like the temperatures right now, maybe get out and enjoy the weather before they begin to warm up, because once we get towards the middle and end of June, 80-degree days will be the norm. So we're going to start to see those begin kind of as early as Wednesday, but definitely by next weekend.
All right, Jacob, thank you so much. Chicago's The Second City is bringing a brand new improv show to Madison for one night only later on this month. The group will entertain guests at the Overture Center with comedian Rhapsody, which it describes as a showcase blending classic sketch comedy and songs from the company's history, spanning more than 6 decades. Many Second City alums have gone on to do big things in comedy, including Stephen Colbert, Tina Fey, and Tim Robinson. The show is on Friday, June 21st at the Capitol Theater at the Overture. Tickets are being sold at overture.org. And while play isn't just for kids, adults bought more toys for themselves than any other age group last quarter for the first time ever. And that's according to Circana, a market research firm. Consumers 18 and older spent $1.5 billion on toys in the first 4 months, overtaking 3 to 5-year-olds as the most important age group for the toy industry. The most popular toys were found to be trading cards, Lego sets, and sporting equipment. Of country music legend Dolly Parton is coming to Broadway. The singer announced plans for the show at the CMA Fest in Nashville. The musical, titled Hello, I'm Dolly, is set to launch on Broadway in 2026. Parton has reportedly been working on the musical for about a decade now. In 2016, she told Variety magazine that the first act would be about her life before Nashville, and the second act would be about her Nashville-based career. We know fruits, veggies, and protein are all an important part of a healthy diet, but this time of the year when kids are out of school, it can be hard to get picky eaters to choose snacks that are good for them. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has some ideas on how to encourage kids to have some healthy snacks at home.
It may be summer break, but it's never time to break with healthy habits.
Routines are usually off. We're having fun with our kids, but it is still important that we are sticking to a semi-routine when it comes to eating.
Strong for Life registered dietitian Catherine Sherry says along with 3 meals a day, kids also need snacks. For older kids, 1 to 2 snacks a day. For younger children like toddlers, up to 3 a day.
We're on the go in the summertime, so we're going to take some snacks with us wherever we're going. We want to be focusing on some snacks that are going to energize us and keep us full. So we should be having at least 2 different food groups, some protein or fat that's filling, some fiber components.
But it's not always easy to find healthy snacks that kids want to eat. So Sherry says to get creative. Some ideas include bananas dipped in yogurt, a cheese stick and orange slices for carbohydrates and energy, cucumber and hummus to dip.
You can freeze them, throw them in the bag, and then they'll thaw in about 1 to 2 hours.
If you want a snack that feels like a treat, try freezing fruit in yogurt. And parents, when on the go, don't forget to pack snacks for yourself.
You eating is a great role model that your child then sees you eating and is more apt to eat those foods and enjoy those foods with you.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Sherry says it's also important to make sure everyone in your family stays hydrated by drinking water throughout the day and limiting sugary beverages. Next year on Weekend Mornings, Jake will have a quick check at today's weather from the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk. Plus, there are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Will Ober shares his picks and 3 things to watch when we return.
Earn a 40-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60 you spend this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's a 40-cent fuel saver for every $60 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, only at Hy-Vee.
We've got the power.
At the Power Centers of Madison, you can get the job done with Toro and their 60-volt max battery Flex Force power system products. It's unbeatable power by Toro. Middleton and Sun Prairie.
You can feel it when your dream becomes a pursuit. And with vitiligo, the pursuit for your pigment is no exception. It's time you had a proven choice to help restore what's yours. Opzelura is the first and only FDA-approved prescription treatment for non-segmental vitiligo. Proven to help repigment skin over time. Restoring what's yours. It's possible with a steroid-free cream that you can apply yourself.
Opzelura can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB or hepatitis B or C. Serious lung infections, skin cancer, blood clots, and low blood cell counts occurred with Opzelura. In people taking JAK inhibitors, serious infections, increased risk of death, lymphoma, other cancers, and major cardiovascular events have occurred. The most common side effects were acne and itching where applied.
Repigmentation is possible. Ask your dermatologist today about starting or refilling Opzelura. Pursue it.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2024. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Buck and Honey's for Best Restaurant, Best Catering, Best New Restaurant, and Best Outdoor Dining. Vote online for Buck and Honey's today.
Teens have drama.
One more minute.
Braces add more drama.
Oh, how does anyone do this?
Invisalign is better oral hygiene and no drama.
Every week it costs more to feed my family. Prices are just out of control.
Boy, inflation is really hurting us. It's got to stop.
Career politicians like Biden and Baldwin just don't get it. They're making things harder for folks here in Wisconsin. By stopping the crazy spending that caused inflation and cutting red tape, we can bring prices down. It's time for a change. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. I'll get the job done for Wisconsin families.
We've got the power.
At the Power Centers of Madison, you can get the job done with Toro and their 60-volt max battery Flex Force power system products. It's unbeatable power by Toro.
We've got the power.
Middleton and Sun Prairie.
Earn a 40-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60 you spend this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's a 40-cent fuel saver for every $60 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, only at Hy-Vee.
You're watching News 3 Now, voted Station of the Year 2023 by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
Welcome back. As we've been sharing all this morning, the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk returns today. That's where we find our Jacob Montesano. The grounds are open right now. Jacob, tell us about basically what you're seeing out there at this moment.
Yeah, no matter the forecast, people are still coming out. Now, if you want to come out to this event, it is located at Willow Island, just next to the Alliant Energy Center, just off of John Nolan Drive. Now, the event starts at 9:15. Unfortunately, that looks like right when the rain will begin, but as I mentioned, the rain is pretty light. I will say over the last 10 to 15 minutes, it has become pretty cloudy here. So the temperatures have dropped a little bit, but if you bring a light jacket, still comfortable. I mean, I'm in short sleeves and I'm good. And as you can see, many people are in short sleeves, just some light jackets. So weather right now is pretty good. Just be prepared for some rain if you do come out here. Once again, it starts at 9:15. We're here at Willow Island next to the Alliant Energy Center.
Jacob, thank you for that update. We'll show be checked back in just a few minutes. Okay, thank you. Moving on, Pat Sajak took his last spin at the wheel on Friday. The 77-year-old officially retiring after 41 seasons on Wheel of Fortune. Sajak told the audience, quote, "It's been an incredible privilege to be invited into the millions of homes night after night, decade after decade. Ryan Seacrest is set to take the wheel as host in September. The 49-year-old will work alongside Vanna White, who renewed her contract through the 2025-26 season. Another movie and novel series are expanding. Author Suzanne Collins says a new Hunger Games book is on the way to be followed by another film. The new story will be a prequel to and will begin with the reaping of the 50th Hunger Games, fittingly called Sunrise on the Reaping. It'll be published March 18th of 2025. Fans will have to wait a while for the film adaptation, however, which is still 2.5 years away, if you believe it or not, set for November of 2026. Well, speaking of the movies, there is plenty of good content to stream right now. Our Will Loper shares his picks in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
No, I don't buy it.
What?
You're not a hitman. You can't be.
Newly streaming on Netflix is the film Hitman.
I realize not everyone fantasized about the same hitman. Every sting operation was a performance.
Richard Linklater directs the film, starring Glenn Powell as a police contractor who poses as a hitman to catch criminals. But things get complicated when he starts to help a woman who hires him.
Remember the lady came in trying to have her husband killed that we let go?
No, that he let go.
Yeah, her husband was just found dead.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Hitman is streaming on Netflix now.
Lucy, he's in love with you.
I'm gonna go.
Why?
You just catapulted off the bed when I got close to you.
Newly streaming on Max is the film Am I Okay?
I don't even know what makes me happy. I'm 32 years old. I should have figured this out by now.
Dakota Johnson stars as Lucy, who embarks on a journey of self-discovery.
But I'm not meant to be happy. There's no timeline to figuring it out.
Am I Okay is streaming on Max now.
Am I okay?
And newly streaming on Netflix is the 2023 film Godzilla Minus One. Quite possibly the best Godzilla film ever made, the film follows the relationship that forms between a former soldier and a woman in post-war Japan. Oh, yeah, and there's plenty of that giant lizard monster, too. Godzilla Minus One is streaming on Netflix now. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for Weekend Mornings.
And coming up next, a look at our top morning headlines. Stick with us. This is Weekend Mornings.
We've got the power.
At the Power Centers of Madison, you can get the job done with Gravely and Aaron's power equipment. Acre after acre, year after year, Gravely and Aaron's can help you get the job done right.
We've got the power.
Middleton and Sun Prairie.
Ordinary is the opposite of beautiful. Beauty drops our jaws, dilates our eyes, and beauty is something we can create right now at Floor & Decor.
It's time for the Madison Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns. Don't miss your chance to tour 32 newly constructed homes filled with the newest trends and products. Go to MadisonParadeOfHomes.com and purchase your tickets today.
Hi, I'm Steve Lindenau, owner of Crazy Lenny's e-bikes. We are the e-bike experts. We've been doing this for well over a decade, and we'll use that expertise to get you into the right e-bike. We have the right bike here for everyone, and our knowledgeable staff will help select the right bike for you. So if you're looking for an e-bike, give us a call or stop on by, because nobody e-bikes like we bikes.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Introducing the Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. We offer streamlined connections to healthcare resources, and we serve children and youth with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Located around Wisconsin, Children's Resource Guides are trained specialists. They can get answers, find services, and connect you to community resources in your region of the state. Connect with Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network today. Call 877-WISC-WAY.
We've got the power.
At the Power Centers of Madison, you can get the job done with Gravely and Aaron's power equipment. Acre after acre, year after year, Gravely and Aaron's can help you get the job done right.
We've got the power.
Middleton and Sun Prairie.
Now at 8:30, Public Health Madison and Dane County is sounding the alarm after a spike in drug overdoses, what you need to know. Plus, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos saying he survived another recall attempt, why he's saying organizers misled constituents in an effort to remove him. Plus, chances for rain in the forecast this morning. Jacob is live from the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk with your forecast. Good morning, and thanks for joining us here on this new half-hour of Weekend Mornings as we welcome in the weekend. Let's go outside with Jacob Montesano again
to the west of our area. But
good morning, Jacob.
Thank you. Good morning, Kyle. We are seeing dry conditions still, although clouds have really increased over the last 20 minutes or so. I actually had to throw on the jacket. It was getting a little chilly out here. But rain is still to the west of us and also to the north of Dane County, but it should enter our area probably within the next hour, maybe as early as 9 o'clock. But again, still remaining dry for this hour. Not going to remain dry for the entire morning. We're going to continue to see some light to moderate scattered showers across really all of southern Wisconsin. But the good news is that it is going to be pretty light. And by the time we get to around the noon hour, especially early afternoon, we are going to see most of it wrap up, with maybe places south and east of Madison seeing that rain last just a little bit longer. And then we are expecting dry conditions with maybe a lot of sunshine later in the day in the late afternoon and evening. And then that will continue as we head into Sunday. So for those of you in La Crosse that are tuning in, the rain's going to end a bit earlier for you folks, probably going to end around 9 to 10 a.m. And then we are going to see sunshine later in the day with highs in the lower 70s. A little bit cooler for us here in Madison as the rain will last a bit longer. But again, not going to last the entire day. Highs will be in the 60s with some sunshine towards the evening. The good news is that the winds are not going to be a factor. Now, I'll talk more in detail about your full weekend forecast a little bit later. And let me just tell you that Sunday is looking a lot better, and very warm temperatures are at the end of the 10-day forecast. I'll have those details coming up later.
All right, Jacob, stay dry and stay warm. We'll see you in a bit. Now to our top story this half hour. A drug overdose spike alert is in effect in Dane County. Our Merrill Hubbard reports this morning about what's causing the concern.
Public Health issued this spike alert after first responders reported an increase in drug overdoses in our community.
If somebody were to get this alert, they can have like a step back.
The alert is for an uptick in opioid-related overdoses, many of which have not been accounted for.
I would say majority of overdoses are responded to by people who are using drugs. And so the number that we could provide, it's not even going to be close.
Public Health says this spike could be tied to more drug circulation between neighboring large cities like Chicago and Milwaukee.
That's just how drugs flow throughout the country, is major hubs like biggest cities, and then kind of travel their way around to us.
In addition to opioid concerns, Public Health says that at least 7 people were treated for unusual symptoms after they consumed crack cocaine.
People started feeling nauseous. They were kind of sedated, which is definitely the opposite of what you would expect for stimulant use.
With this rising concern, Public Health and Madison Street Medicine remind people of life-saving resources.
If they do want to seek help or rehab, we call all the facilities that we know of and different partnerships that we have to get them connected.
Come to our syringe service program. We'll give you Narcan. We'll give you safer use supplies.
If Narcan is administered within the first couple minutes, there is a higher likelihood of surviving that overdose.
That can absolutely save someone's life.
Public Health and Madison Street Medicine offer Narcan for you or anyone you know that may be concerned about a drug overdose. I'm Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Meryl, thank you. Public Health says to always call 911 if you are concerned about an overdose that's happening. Now to some continuing coverage. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says a second effort to recall him has failed. He claims organizers misled constituents in order to get their signatures on a petition to remove him. Vos says thousands of the signatures either were forged, duplicates, or came from constituents outside of his district. He's been targeted by supporters of former President Donald Trump for not impeaching Megan Wolf, who is the head of the Wisconsin Elections Commission. In a statement, Vos said to the tens of thousands of people who were harassed by recall organizers and had the courage to not sign, the only thing I can say is thank you. I will continue to do my best to listen to you and fight for your interest. Well, it has been nearly 60 years since the Griswold versus Connecticut decision established the right to contraception in America, and now Democrats say that right is under attack. On Friday, Wisconsin politicians held a news conference condemning recent actions by Republicans in the Senate blocking the right to contraception this week. The act would have enshrined into federal law a right for individuals to buy and use contraceptives, including birth control pills and condoms.
We just saw this week that the U.S. Senate was not able to pass something to make sure that people have the right to contraception. And unfortunately, the Republicans voted against that right. In the state Senate and in the state assembly in the state of Wisconsin.
The law struck down by Republicans in Wisconsin would also have provided a guarantee for birth control pills and condoms. The Universities of Wisconsin Board of Regents announcing the new president and vice president on Friday. Universities of Wisconsin officials say Regent Amy Bloomfeld-Bogus has been elected to serve a one-year term as president. Bogus previously served as Regent vice president and will succeed Karen Walsh, who has served as president since June of 22. The Regents also elected Regent Kyle Weatherly as vice president. Every June, the board elects a new president and vice president. A local nonprofit helping adults with developmental disabilities find jobs and services is building its own space in Mount Horeb in order to serve more individuals. The Madison Area Rehabilitation Center, otherwise known as MARC, has been empowering individuals with disabilities to chase their dreams for more than 70 years. But right now, it is in need of more space. MARC is currently in 2 buildings, but says neither is meeting the needs of the individuals they serve. Once built, this new facility will provide just that and more.
It's a 13,500 square foot facility that will more than double the space that we currently have. And the program space is designed specifically for people with disabilities in mind. So it'll be sound sensitive and light sensitive.
Other amenities will include multiple outdoor spaces, accessible swings, and a path to the nearby park. MARC anticipates the hub opening sometime next year. And the Wisconsin DNR says it will award grants to cities, villages, towns, counties, tribes, and nonprofit organizations through its competitive urban forestry grant program. Regular urban forestry grants fund projects that sustainably improve a community's ability to manage its trees and urban forest resource. Startup grants are available for communities that want to start or restart a community forestry program. Recipients must match each grant dollar for dollar, and applications open on July 1st. Still ahead on weekend mornings, consumer news, including a warning about the sale of raw milk. Plus, here's today's day in history.
I've been with U.S. Cellular for 27 years. When they asked me to talk to you about their special customer event, Us Days, I said, I gotta get in shape. Us Days means exclusive deals just for us customers.
Us Days is back at U.S. Cellular.
I'm gonna take real good care of your windows.
You need the experts at Feldco.
Right now at Feldco, get 2 windows for the price of 1.
Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
When a crane collapsed during construction of a Major League sports stadium, 3 workers lost their lives. Their widows called us. When maintenance workers were permanently injured by an industrial accident at a public utilities power plant, the 7 injured workers called us. When a factory exploded, injuring dozens of workers, 18 victims, including all 3 families of men who lost their lives, called us. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Enjoy a website-like layout and swipe through articles without returning to the home screen. Download the Channel 3000 News app, powered by News 3 Now.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2024. Vote for the Best of Madison online today, including Beef Butter Barbecue for Best Barbecue, your #1 choice for barbecue and catering. Vote online for Beef Butter Barbecue today.
I'm engaged and I am getting married next April. If I hadn't done Invisalign, I probably would be dreading the wedding photos, which is not how you want to feel going into your wedding day.
I devised a plan to find better home internet, guys. Madison, you scout the web for the best deals. And Ellen...
Avoid that hassle and go with U.S. Cellular Home Internet. No more guesswork, and it is faster than ever.
U.S. Cellular new and improved home internet. Just $34.99 when bundled with a wireless plan. You have a consumer issue, and you keep getting the runaround.
It was just a total nightmare.
What you need is an advocate.
It's call for action to help me. Nobody else did.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team has the experience and resources to get results.
He was able to accomplish in a couple months what we couldn't accomplish in 4 years.
Need help? Contact us by phone or on channel3000.com. Call for Action, only on News 3 Now. Moving forward for you. You're watching News 3 Now, voted Best News Operation of the Year 2023 by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association.
And welcome back here to Weekend Mornings. Time is 8:41. We're getting closer to the start of this year's More Than Pink Walk. Jacob is out back live again at the Alliant Energy Center. We pick things up with him. Good morning, Jacob. How are you doing out there?
Doing pretty good. Still dry, although clouds have continued to move into the area. Now, if you want to come out here, the walk starts at 9:15 here at Willow Island, just next to the Alliant Energy Center. And I do want to point out that here at News 3 Now, we do actually have a team, about a dozen people or so. They'll be wearing these shirts, our team name, 3 Care. I will not be one of the part of the team, but we do have about a dozen people from the station participating in the walk. And once again, starts at 9:15, but you can come right now. Rain is still holding off. Unfortunately, 9:15 is right around when the rain just might begin. But obviously, as you can see behind me, plenty of people showed up, so the rainfall not impacting their plans for this walk. And once again, we are here at Willow Island, just next to the Alliant Energy Center, just off of John Nolan Drive near the Beltline. And yeah, you still got about 30 minutes to come here for the walk. And right now, the conditions are nice, but be prepared for some light rain if you do plan on attending. Maybe an umbrella or just a light jacket may be nice because the rain won't be too heavy.
Hey, and Jacob, you know, the thing, too, about this is that even if it does rain, it's still a great event. So I'm glad we got a team out there from News 3 Now as well. Certainly a great event. Thank you, Jacob. All right, now to some other news this morning. Consumer news first. The FDA is asking states to take action to discourage or stop the sale of raw milk to the public. The concern is the exposure and possible transmission of bird flu. In an open letter, the agency urged states to issue more stern warnings or consider using regulatory powers to curb the sale of raw milk in areas where dairy cattle have tested positive. Raw milk can carry high levels of the virus because bird flu appears to infect cows through their udders. It is not known whether humans can get bird flu by drinking contaminated milk at this time. Good Earth Lighting is recalling one of 1.2 million lights after a death and multiple fires. According to the company, the rechargeable integrated lights can overheat. One person died and another was treated for smoke inhalation when the product caused a fire in their home last year. The company said it is aware of 9 additional reports of lights overheating. The recalled lights were sold at retailers including Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Amazon, and QVC from October 2017 through January of this year. Consumers are being instructed to stop using the product at this time. And here's some important safety information as people hit the water as summer approaches. Water safety experts say the color of your child's swimsuit could impact their safety at a swimming pool or the beach. Alive Solutions, which is a company specializing in water safety, found that bright neon colors were most visible in both the pool and lake. The American Lifeguard Association says swimwear colors to avoid are light blue, gray, or green, which can blend with water and the surroundings. That's something I never knew before today. Good information there. Still ahead, Zach will check in with Friday's news and sports, and let's take a live look outside again at the Alliant Energy Center. Jacob should be there, or maybe not. Anyway, we won't take that shot, and we'll be right back here on Weekend Mornings.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
We've got the power.
At the Power Centers of Madison, you can get the job done with Skag Commercial Power Equipment. If your business is lawn care, you can trust Skag. Simply the best.
We've got the power.
Middleton and Sun Prairie.
Ordinary is the opposite of beautiful. Beauty drops our jaws, dilates our eyes, and beauty is something we can create right now at Floor & Decor.
You can feel it when your dream becomes a pursuit. And with vitiligo, the pursuit for your pigment is no exception. It's time you had a proven choice to help restore what's yours. Opzelura is the first and only FDA-approved prescription treatment for non-segmental vitiligo. Proven to help repigment skin over time. Restoring what's yours. It's possible with a steroid-free cream that you can apply yourself.
Opzelura can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB or hepatitis B or C. Serious lung infections, skin cancer, blood clots, and low blood cell counts occurred with Opzelura. In people taking JAK inhibitors, serious infections, increased risk of death, lymphoma, other cancers, and major cardiovascular events have occurred. The most common side effects were acne and itching where applied.
Repigmentation is possible. Ask your dermatologist today about starting or refilling Opzelura. Pursue it.
Teens have drama.
One more minute.
Braces add more drama.
Oh, how does anyone do this?
Invisalign is better oral hygiene and no drama.
Senator Baldwin says I'm not from Wisconsin. But this was my childhood home. Graduated East High. Became a Badger in '86, where I've had my company for over 20 years.
And this is where we live. It's our family home.
I'm a fourth-generation Wisconsinite. It made me who I am. If Senator Baldwin's not going to be honest with you about where I'm from, what makes you think she'll be honest with you about anything? I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
We've got the power.
At the Power Centers of Madison, you can get the job done with Skag Commercial Power Equipment. If your business is lawn care, you can trust Skag. Simply the best.
We've got the power.
Middleton and Sun Prairie.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You did come in. So is he the one giving Jacob the excuse? That's great.
Well, it's still dry out here, but unfortunately, that likely won't last that long. Now, we continue to see cloud cover. Temperatures, though, are fairly comfortable at this hour. Now, looking at the three things you need to know, we are going to see those scattered showers early, but we should be dry later in the day. And the dry conditions are going to continue for Sunday as well, but it will be a bit breezy Sunday. And as far as temperatures as a whole, we are going to see them warm up throughout next week. So let's take a look at the current radar. Still dry, but that rain is very close. but the rain is very light, so no need to panic about the walk today. It might last throughout most of the walk, but again, we're not going to see anything heavy, certainly not going to see any thunderstorms, at least here in Dane County, maybe a few thunderstorms south of our area in Iowa and Illinois. So let's take a look at the future track. Rain is expected to continue to be fairly scattered throughout the morning into the early afternoon, but once we get to the early afternoon, we're mostly talking about some of those showers south and east of Dane County. And then once we get to the evening, we're going to see dry conditions with maybe some sunshine before the day is over. And those of you north and west, just want to point out, especially near La Crosse, rain will end a lot earlier for you folks. So temperature-wise, highs will be in the upper 60s, lower 70s for most of our area. Below average for this time of year, but still fairly comfortable, especially once we get to the later portion of the day where the sun may come out. And then for tomorrow, we are expecting more sunshine. Again, maybe a bit breezy. Only going to see wind speeds max out at around 20 miles per hour, so nothing too crazy. Probably not as windy as we saw Thursday, but temperatures, as I mentioned, lower 70s. And they are going to warm up throughout next week as well. Highs could be back in the lower 80s for several days in a row. May even be talking about some of the warmest temperatures so far this year. This does include Father's Day. Now, as far as rainfall goes, over the next 7 days, we're not going to see a lot of it, especially considering this is still roughly the rainiest time of the year. We're going to see some light rain today, another chance of rain Tuesday afternoon into the overnight hours, but not a lot is going to happen during that time frame. Another chance of rain Thursday, but none of these are really coming together very strongly. Now, that may change just a little bit, but right now, we don't have any alert days in the forecast, and we don't expect to have any alert days in the forecast until maybe Father's Day. But again, that's still very far out. A lot can change between now and then, but it does look like we are going to see some thunderstorm activity for Father's Day nonetheless. Now, temperatures, as I talked about, will be fairly warm during that time, so highs will be in the middle 80s. And once we get to the end of the 10-day forecast, 80s will start to be the norm. You know, we keep saying below average. Lower 70s is below average. Average high right now is around 75, 76 degrees. And very soon the average high will be above 80 degrees. So we're going to see those 80s come into the forecast starting around Wednesday and continue through the end of the 10-day forecast. But there's really no sign of them stopping at that point. But we do have some chances of storms for Father's Day and the beginning of the following week.
Jacob, thank you. Now let's go to the sports report with Zach Hanley.
For the final time, University Ridge is the site of the AmFam Championship, and you could have asked for a better first round from our guys Steve Stricker and Jerry Kelly. They were lurking near the top of the leaderboard all day long, and we'll start with the reigning champ, Steve Stricker himself. He got off to a good start. Second hole of the day, and he rolls in the short putt for birdie to move to 1 under. Then on 9, his approach couldn't have asked for anything better. Stricker puts it on a yo-yo and pulls it back to the pin, stopping just a few feet from the hole, and that's a birdie even I could make. He finished 3 under, tied for second. A good round in his eyes, but one that he feels could have been even better.
It's nice to be introduced as the defending champion, and you know, I'm just trying to get back there again, trying to get in that position again come Sunday, and hopefully I got to get this putter worked out. That's the bottom line. I mean, I hit it well enough today to shoot 5 or 6 under. And to walk away with 3 is a little bit disappointing.
Meanwhile, fellow Wisconsinite Jerry Kelly didn't get things going until the back 9. Check out his approach shot on the 15 from the 2-time AmFam champ. An absolute beauty. Now, he'd roll that in for birdie, part of 5 straight chirpers from Kelly. This one dropped him to 4 under, sitting him tied for first. But on 18, he'd run into some trouble. The putt for par, and he just misses it. Kelly would tap in for bogey to finish 3 under, tied for second. He's 1 shot off the lead, but like his friend Steve, he isn't satisfied either about his round.
I actually said, I'm going to start drinking tonight. And the next thing you know, I made 4 in a row. So I better hold true to my word tonight and enjoy myself. Again, it's smoke and mirrors out there again. I didn't feel like my body responded. I just battled through it and see if I can shoot a couple of low ones. Who knows?
Lake Mills softball has already made history this season. It's the L-Cats' first trip to the state tournament. But now that they're there, might as well play a couple games, right? Lake Mills taking on Mosinee in the Division II semifinals, and the L-Cats jumped out of the gates. Peyton Quest rips one into right for an RBI single, part of a 4-run first inning, But Mosinee would rally and win 10-9 in walk-off fashion as Lake Mills falls in the semifinals in their state tournament debut. Down in Division III, the reigning champs Broadhead looking to go back-to-back. Just have to get past Prescott in the semifinals. They're down a run in the fourth, and Tatum Seslock drops one down the first base line, knot this one up at 1. But Prescott scored 3 in the 7th and end Broadhead's season 4-1, the final. And the Brewers opening up a 3-game series with the Tigers. The Crew scored just 2 runs against the Phillies in 3 games. Well, they scored 10 in 9 innings in Detroit. Brewers blanked the Tigers 10-0 the final.
Thanks, Zach. Coming up next, it is World Ocean Day, and we're going to talk about it when Weekend Mornings returns.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
Oh, another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor of a Thomas's English muffin.
Tom, which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, 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 nook, cranny. I mean, they should be teaching you this in school. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Caulk, our high-performance hybrid caulk with our new Trigger Flow nozzle. Flex Caulk is so easy to use. Just push the trigger and you get a perfect bead every time. And when you stop, it stops. There's absolutely no mess. You can adjust the flow from thick to thin. It also comes in clear. Perfect for kitchen countertops, sinks, and backsplashes. Ordinary caulks, they dry out, but Flex Caulk stays flexible. And with our snap and save cap, you can Flex Caulk again and again. There's no waste. Flex Caulk has incredible adhesion. It even works underwater. It dries fast, is fully paintable, totally waterproof, and lasts for years. Forget those ordinary caulks and throw away that caulking gun. Get Flex Caulk, available at Lowe's.
I was stuck. Unresolved depression symptoms were in my way. I needed more from my antidepressant. Vraylar helped give it a lift.
Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant is clinically proven to help relieve overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone. And in Vraylar clinical studies, most saw no substantial impact on weight. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke, report unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults, report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, as these may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Movement dysfunction and restlessness are common side effects. Stomach and sleep issues, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are also common. Side effects may not appear for several weeks.
I didn't have to change my treatment. I just gave it a lift.
Ask about Vraylar and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Introducing the new Sushi Lover Madison. All-you-can-eat sushi and hibachi at an amazing price. Now open at Westtown Mall for lunch or dinner. Be sure to try Sushi Lover Madison.
Mission Unstoppable, Saturday morning at 9.
Well, finally this morning, today is World Ocean Day. It is meant to celebrate our global oceans, which cover more than 70% of the planet and connect us all. The regions of the ocean are commonly known as the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian. There is also the Arctic, and now the most recently recognized Southern, which is the Antarctic. It is estimated that the Earth's ocean provide at least 50% of the planet's oxygen and is the main source of protein more than 1 billion people around the world. Now let's do a final check of the forecast here today. We're going to be looking at 70s for today and a little bit of rain, and then 70s for the rest of the week until Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we start to heat up into the 80s. Thank you all for watching here on Weekend Mornings. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 6:30.